Alright, how you doing, class? The goal for you tonight is for you to be able to analyze a set of data using mean, median, mode, and range. So I've got the definitions of what all those terms mean up here. Alright, so get these down. And I want you to underline these words right here. Alright? And you know what I want you to do? Put a star. Also, put a star next to the word average, a star next to the word middle, a star next to the word most, and a star next to the word difference. Okay? So, mean is the average of a set of data, which is found by adding all the values in the set of data and then dividing by the number of values. So, you're going to be adding all the numbers up in our data set, and then you're going to divide by the number of values that are in that data set. The median, that's the number in the middle, right? Median, middle. Mode, that's the number that occurs the most in the data set. Okay, mode, most, mode, most. And range is the difference between the least and the greatest value. Alright, so you'll take the greatest value minus whatever the least value is. Okay? And the way I remember these, class, alright, mean, I think of mean people as just average people. Alright, an average person is a mean person. Median, middle, median, middle. Alright, kind of sounds like the word middle, at least in the beginning. Alright, mode, mode, most. So the beginning of those two words, mode and most, I like to associate with one another. And then range. That's from one side to the next. Range. One side to the next. Least to greatest or greatest to least. So finding the difference between them. Okay? So, get those definitions down and on to the next slide. Alright. So now, you're going to find the mean, median, mode, and range of this data set. Now, first thing you want to do, put a star next to this. The first thing you want to do when given a set of data is put that data in order from least to greatest. So put a star next to that. The first thing you want to do when given a set of data is put that data in order from least to greatest. Alright? Like I did here. Here's my data set, so I put those numbers in order. 3, 5, 6, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 15. Now to find the mean, this is what we have to do. We're going to add all the numbers up. When we add them all up, I get 72. Now look how many numbers are in the data set. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers. So I'm going to take that total and divide by 9. There's my mean, or my average. The average of all those numbers is about 8. So you'll see we've got a couple 8s, and we've got some numbers that are lower than 8. We've got some numbers that are greater than 8. But on average, those numbers in the data set are around 8. The median, that's our middle number. Alright, so the way I solve for the median is I cross out one number on each side, on the ends, and then I work my way towards the middle. So, out, 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 and there's our last number that we're left with, 8. So our median is 8. Our mode, well, that's the number that occurs the most. So I've got all these numbers, okay, 3, 5, 6, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, and 15. Well, I've got 1, 3, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 8, 2 8s, 1 9, 2 9s, 3 9s, 1 15. Well, the number that occurs the most is 9, so that's my mode. And the range, you got to take the biggest number minus the lowest number. Alright, the greatest value minus the least value. 15 minus 3, and that's going to give us 12. So our range is 12. Alright, that's it. Next slide. Alright, find the mean, median, mode, and range of this data set. So, I've got my set of data. First thing we gotta do though is we gotta put all those numbers in order from least to greatest. So I do that. 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 7, 12, 16, 16, and 16. Alright, well, to find the mean or the average, I gotta add all those up, which gives me 85. And then since there's 10 numbers, I'm going to divide that total by 10. And when you do that, you get 8.5 or 8.5. The median, that's the middle number. So, as I start crossing out numbers, one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right. I'm not left with one number here, I'm left with two numbers. So in this case, you got to figure out what number would be right in between 4 and 7. And it can be a decimal, okay? It doesn't have to be a whole number. You know, put a star next to that and write that down. When you have two numbers in the middle of a data set, you have to find the number in between those two numbers. Alright? When finding the median of a data set, if you have two numbers, you have to find the number in the middle of those two numbers in the data set. So for example, how can we find that out? Well, if you take those two numbers, 4 and 7, you add them together, you get 11. Well, if you divide that by 2, 11 divided by 2, you get 5.5 or 5.5. Well, if you look, class, 5.5 is right in between 4 and 7. If you add 1.5 to 4, you get 5.5. If you take away 1.5 from 7, you get 5.5. So that's going to be our median, our middle number. The mode is the number that occurs the most. So I've got 1 3, 2 3s, 1 4, 2 4s, 3 4s, a 7, a 12, a 16, a second 16, and a third 16. So really, class, here I've got two modes because both of these occur the most. A 4 occurs 3 times and a 16 occurs and a 16 occurs 3 times. So 4 and 16 are my mode. So I'll put a star next to this, alright, and write this down. There can be more than one mode. Alright? Put a star next to this and write this down. There can be more than one mode value. Alright? And then the range, biggest minus the smallest. 16 minus 3 is 13. That's it. So our range is 13. Which means our numbers range from, well, they range between 13 values. From 3 to 16. That's where we're going to find all of our numbers in the data set. Alright? Now, the next one you're going to do on your own. So, I want you to find the mean, median, mode, and range of this data set. So, these numbers right here. Alright, find the mean, the median, the mode, and the range. On your own. See if you can do it on your own. So, pause the video, give it a shot, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, so first, I gotta put these numbers in order. That's the first thing you need to do. So, draw a little arrow. I'm gonna write put in order. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm put these in order from least to greatest. So I'm gonna do that. Lowest number, well, I've got 2 1s. Then I've got a 3, a 4, ooh, I've got a 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, I got 2 10s, and 18. Alright, so now here's my data set in order from least to greatest. So to find the mean, I gotta add all these up. So So I'm going to add all these numbers up. We got 1, 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 10, 10, and 18. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to add these up. 2, 5, 10, 20, 30, 4, 44, 52. Now I have to divide that total by the amount of numbers in there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got to divide 52 by 8. So I'm going to divide 52 by 8. So let's see. 8 goes into 52. 6.5 times 6.5. So that's my average, 6.5. Alright, you'll notice that number isn't in here, but that's alright. When we add them all up, our average is 6.5. Okay, so median. Well, I'm going to write all these numbers back out in order. So I've got 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 10, 10, and 18. Okay, I'm going to add all those up. Sorry, not add all those up. What am I talking about? That's for the mean, the median. Alright, the middle number. So let's see what we got. This away, this away. This away, this away. 3 away, 10 away. Alright, so you'll see, class, we don't have just one number for our median, we've got 2 numbers. So when that happens, you got to figure out, well, what number is right in between 4 and 5. So, I'm going to take 4 and 5, add them together. That's going to give me 9. Now when I divide 9 by 2, I'm going to get 4.5. 4.5. What number is right in between 4 and 5? 4.5. 4.5, that's it. That's our median. Alright, the mode. Again, I'm going to write all these numbers out. So I've got 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 10, 10, and 18. Okay. So, mode. What number occurs the most? Well, I've got a 1, got a 1, got 2 1s, got 3, 4, a 5, a 10, another 10, and 18. You know, let me darken these. So it looks like, class, we've actually got 2 modes. 1 and 10 occur the most. So that means that 1 and 10 are going to be our modes. Now the range, I got to solve for by taking the largest number, the greatest value, minus the least value. Greatest value is 18, least value is 1. So I got to do 18 minus 1, which you all know it's going to give us 17 for our range. So, hopefully you do well with these. Alright, if not, don't worry, we'll be working on more problems like this in class. Alright, but hopefully you actually tried this on your own, gave it a shot. That's going to mean you're more prepared for class tomorrow. So that's it, guys. Hope you're having a great night, and I'll see you soon.